So I'm Emily, I'm 21 and I study psychology, and I got diagnosed with anorexia nervosa in April 2014. So it kind of started when I was like 9 or 10. I remember specifically at the time I was getting bullied by a lot of like the kids in my school, and I kind of realised that the people that weren't getting bullied were like skinny and really pretty, and I was like, well, maybe then if I'm like them then I won't be picked on, because all I wanted in life was friends and for people to like me. So I turned to food to kind of deal with that, and I also was really upset because of the bullying and I didn't know how to deal with my emotions. So I started to kind of restrict my food to try and be skinny like the other girls that weren't getting bullied. But then of course it turned to binge eating, and I got into the cycle of restricting and binging and all of that. But because of that, I started to gain more weight, and it just made things 100 times worse. And then I started therapy with Pieta House here in 2014. And at the time, she asked me, like, what would make you happy? And I didn't even think before I said it, but I was just like, I'll be happy when I'm skinny. I've been through recovery 2 or 3 times. This is my 3rd time and final attempt. I'm definitely not going back, but this time in the summer I lost the ability to walk, and I couldn't walk for like 2 or 3 weeks. I had to quit my job, and the reason that I lost the ability to walk was because my job was a waitress, and I was walking 6 or 7 hours a day, like constantly at like a high speed, because I'm a fast walker, and like I always put 100% into everything. So when I'm on work, I'm making sure I'm getting things done quickly. And I was eating so little, and I was drinking a lot of alcohol at the time to kind of deal with everything. And I basically, because of that, the lack of food and the lots of walking, I lost the ability to walk, and that was my main motivation this time, because I was like, if I can't walk, then how am I going to be able to go to college? And around that time I was also 21, and I spent my 21st birthday like really upset because I didn't look 21, and a couple of people in work had told me I looked 14, and my sister, who's 18, looked older than me, and it just really got to me. And I realised, looking back at my life, how much my eating disorder had taken away from me. And all my doctors and psychiatrists and psychologists and even my parents were like, yeah, you're not going back to college in September. Like my head used to tell me to kill myself every time I ate food, and it's like so much better now, and like that's all I care about now, is that I can eat food now without having those thoughts. But it's just, you become so like narrow-minded about food, and you don't see it as food, you see it as like a number or like a nutritional percentage, you know. You see it not as food but as just something that you have to do. The ability to walk and college were my main motivators, but just every day, like living every day is motivation for me now, because I remember back in June when I was like really low, I was like, couldn't picture myself being alive in September or August, or even now October. I'm still like, oh my God, I'm alive in October. Like, it sounds stupid, but when you're in that position, like when you have an eating disorder, that's when you understand it. But yeah.